Hey guys, Desolator Magic here. A little preface to this video. I had absolutely no idea that there was a Commander ban yesterday to coincide with Wizards of the Coast actual ban and restricted announcement for multiple reasons, and this might be news to you. The Commander ban list is not handled by Wizards. And you might be thinking, wow, what a great thing that is. Unfortunately, it's run by a bunch of greedy, hypocritical assholes, and it's either just calculated moves to make themselves money, or to actively troll and piss off the community, or they're just that incompetent. I don't know which at this point, but what I do know is that they unbanned a card for the second time, and surprise, the price of it shot up before the announcement. And are they under any obligation not to basically do insider trading? According to federal law, no, and according to them not working for Wizards of the Coast, no. So absolutely, I think they were behind it. Then again, every time there's a ban restricted announcement, usually some modern cards that have been banned a long time ago will get at least bumped up a little bit, if not, several dollars in price. And that's just because of clueless, greedy, just absolutely unrealistic morons from the MTG finance community who think that cards like Stoneforge Mystic are ever going to be unbanned. No. I mean, Wizards of the Coast is stupid, but they're not that damn stupid. Like, are you kidding me? If you've invested in Stoneforge Mystics, you're an idiot. And by the way, the last card to get unbanned in EDH before this announcement was Protean Hulk, I believe. And that's one of the most broken, degenerate combos in the history of the game. There was a damn good reason that they banned it. What was the reason that they unbanned it? Nothing. They didn't have a reason. Nothing that I saw. I need more money and want to do insider trading. Like, that was the reason, in my opinion. So these people behind these decisions cannot be trusted. They're crooked as hell, and their philosophy on the game that they stated is ridiculous. It's literally just lies after lies after lies. And if you look at their past decisions and the state of the game and what's still allowed, they do the opposite. I don't, what else could I say? They do the exact opposite of what they are telling you to your face in this document. So every single last person on that stupid committee can right off. That has always been my position. And you know what? Just because they, invented the format, or they came together and said, oh, we're going to run it. Who gave them authority? Did Wizards actually say, okay, you are in charge of this, we authorize it, there you go nuts? Because what's stopping me from saying, okay, now I run the Commander ban list because people like me better, which is really saying something, because that is true. Oh, the community hates these assholes that run this stupid ban list. I can and would do a better job. So what's stopping me from saying, nah, here's my proposed ban list. Play this in your play group. I assume Wizards actually did say, okay, you're in charge of it, unless it's some community thing, which, let's put it up for a vote. How about that? I don't know how any of this shit works, and I don't care. What I do know is that they banned 2 cards, and if you played either one of them, you're an asshole, and your deck is bullshit. And I'm glad that you just lost the main engine of your deck, because f*** you. So first up, we've got Paradox Engine. This is quite possibly the most intrinsically broken card I have ever seen in my personal history of playing Standard, which, FYI, goes back to M14. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Ancestral Recall and Time Walk are kind of messed up. But as far as I've been playing, I have never had quite the reaction as when I saw Paradox Engine in the spoiler list. Maybe you could argue that Cryptolith Rite would be a tie, but that's still, to this day, a $7 rare from Shadows over Innistrad. It's the 3rd most expensive rare in the set, making it among the most powerful cards in the set by a long shot. It's just so inherently broken. The fact that it barely found a deck to play in Standard doesn't matter. Neither did Paradox Engine. Doesn't mean that it's not a completely broken card, because they both are. If you're not familiar and you're not looking at the screen right now, Paradox Engine, 5 cost, colorless. Okay, there's your problem. You can put it in any deck of any color, any type, any color mix, doesn't matter. Legendary Artifact, so at least they put Legendary on it. This is back when Wizards would actually put Legendary on cards that you should never, ever, 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 ever have 2 of in play at the same time, ever. So not like the last 4 sets at all. And whenever you cast a spell, okay, a spell, any spell of any type for any mana in any color in any deck, untap all non-land permanents you control. What the f***? I'm sure they said, well, we said non-land, it'll be fine in Standard. And it was. Nobody played this in Standard, not in any serious decks. But then there's Modern and Commander. So they're finally getting rid of this absolute stupid menace, this pile of horse shit from Commander, because remember, the bar's pretty high for what's broken in Commander, because these idiots refuse to ban anything that's remotely problematic. But this just high jumped over it. It pole jumped over it. It stole a jetpack from Elon Musk's secret bunker and blasted over the line. You can't even see this card anymore. It's in orbit. So anyway, they say Paradox Engine is a card that has proven to be intensely problematic. Ya think? Not only does it provide easy wins seemingly out of nowhere, it has demonstrated the potential to unintentionally wreck games. No, it's intentional. I assure you, people are fetching this and putting it into play on purpose. And if you're about to say, but artifact destruction can destroy it and it can be countered, so it's a perfectly fair card. Shut the up. I am so sick of ignorant dumbasses constantly in the community, on social media, on forums, and in my comment section saying, this is a fair card because something can stop it. What if I'm not running that something? What if I'm not running a color that has that something? Did you know that the color red cannot destroy enchantments? No card ever printed in the history of the game can do that. So if I want to play red and there's a really broken enchantment, oh well, I just don't get to play red? 1/5 of the decks in the game are gone? Shut up, you're talking out your ass, you're just making yourself look like a complete moron. I mean, yeah, Carnage Tyrant is extremely annoying for a good reason. But would they be banning this if everybody's just like, oh, it came out countered, oh, it came out blow it up, not a problem. That is not a valid argument, it never has been a valid argument, so shut up. This card, if you don't agree, you're an idiot. If you were playing this card as some sort of fetchable, reliable combo in your commander deck, you're part of the problem, you degenerate dick. Please go play a different game, the community doesn't welcome you here. So anyway, these people go on to say, easily inserted into any deck, yes, colorless, we know this, it combines with cards which players already have heavy incentives to play. They don't actually give any examples, so I don't know, Karametra's Acolyte, there you go. Oh, and also, in addition to that, anything with a tap ability. Well, and plus, I mean, what do people play in Commander? The real problem is mana rocks, as they call them. So they're usually colorless, usually artifacts, not always. You drop them in, you tap them, and they generate mana, because everybody wants to ramp up and play their big giant spells. You got your Soul Ring, you got your, I don't know what, Geodes and crap, and just whatever. There's like a million different ones. Your unicorns and lawn ornaments, and you guys have seen them. So every time you cast a spell, you get half your mana back. It's ridiculous. You can just run your whole deck. You could draw your whole deck. It's Hey, we actually agree on this next part. While we don't ban cards which are only problematic if you build around them, Paradox Engine has clearly demonstrated that it doesn't need to be built around to be broken, which I think they misphrased that. They don't ban cards which are only problematic if you don't build around them. They said if you do. Well, if you do build around it, you'll just blow it up or counter it. That doesn't make any sense. If you fail to build around it, you failed to put universal exiling or artifact removal or counter spells in your deck, then you're going to lose to it. If you do have them, this card is going to do nothing because you're going to blow it up. So I don't know what the hell they meant with that, but assuming it was actually a typo, even though they said it twice, I'll agree with that. Unless they meant to imply, like, if it's forcing everybody to build around it. Which, it's Commander. Have you seen the deck variety? Nobody's forcing anybody to do anything. It's just a card that pisses people off. Some people can stop it, some people can't. Whether you build around it or not doesn't matter. The card's inherently intrinsically broken. Get the hell rid of it. Bye-bye. Good riddance. Next. Which, speaking of that, Iona, Shield of Emeria. Banned. So if you're not familiar, it's a 9-cost Angel, triple white, 6 generic. And legendary creature, Angel, flying, wonderful, 7/7, great. And as it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of the chosen color. This is unplayable garbage that can't even protect itself. For 9 mana, it damn well better be able to protect itself. For 7, okay, I'll play it. But for 9, this better basically end the game and also have evasion, which, I mean, it's flying, but that's not really evasion, come on. I hate how people lump combat evasion and spell and removal evasion into like it's the same thing. It's not. So here's the thing, I mean, yeah, it's a stupidly powered, just shut down, flip the switch kind of thing, but it costs 9. It's almost unrealistic to think that you would get there, and it's not in the color green, because green can ramp to 9 a lot easier than any other color. But here's the problem with Commander. It is so stupidly mismanaged that 9 mana doesn't mean anything. Mana costs don't mean anything. What they should do is look through basically every single way to free cast anything in the history of the game and just blanket ban every single one of them. How much better would Commander be? Because then it would be like the card was designed in the block that it was in. Like, you might have a card where it's like Paradox Engine. It's like, okay, what the hell? But you look at what it did in the block that it was in and in the standard meta that it was in, and it's like, okay, it was good, but they kept it in check because that's what they play tested for. They made sure you can't do just some absolute degenerate crazy crap with it because the support just wasn't quite there. They made it a playable card. It was still good, and some people put it in their deck, but it wasn't that good. They kept it in check. They kept it fair with play testing and being very careful not to print another card or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 that could work too well with this. Iona is a wonderful example of that. I wasn't playing when this was in standard, but I happen to know that you couldn't just toss it out for free on turn 2. So if, any card people say, well, that's ridiculous, but it costs like 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, that's a perfectly legitimate reason to not ban the card. It's like, well, good luck getting that mana. And if you do, good. Like, you could just dump all that mana into, like, anything and probably win the game. Like an X spell or just whatever. Like any Hydra ever. Any X spell that's red ever, pretty much. So it's like, yeah, you look at Iona and you're like, wow, you just shut down all of or a portion of somebody's entire deck, but it costs 9. Like, okay. Letting your opponent get to 9 mana unopposed, you should expect some things to start flying at your face at some point. I mean, the danger sense is real at that point. So it's like if somebody throws out Iona and legit had like, I don't know, some little mana ramp and 5 lands and then like 2 mana dorks or something. Good for them, blow it up with a kill spell. Like, it's not that good of a card. But in Commander, the mana cost doesn't mean anything anymore at all. They've let it get so out of control with free casting and honestly even ramp. Yes, I know they just got rid of Paradox Engine. But still, the ramp and the free cast is too consistent and too good. They need to take that down a couple pegs, and then every other potentially broken deck now, in the past or in the future, would get powered down to the point where it's like, yeah, but they earned it. Most of the problematic but high-cost cards, you would say, yeah, but they earned it. I mean, okay, I get it. It's late game and it ended up in their hand, good for them. So that's why I constantly call Commander mismanaged, because in Standard, Modern, Vintage, Legacy, and Commander, and every other format, they need to take free casting and keep it in check. What are the 2 biggest problems that they've referenced in the last 10 years of banning? It's too much mana too soon, which is like Amulet Bloom. I'd say Storm, that's a little different, but like the red rampy decks. I mean, even just literally the card Black Lotus. Too much mana too soon, they will ban it. And that's been the reason for a ton of bans, and just ignoring the casting cost of a card. So just free casting in general and other little things that wouldn't be considered free casting but pretty much are. Like compounded spell discounting and straight from the graveyard to play, which you're not even casting it, but you know what I mean. Just ignoring the casting cost because it's there for a reason. Things cost 7 for a reason. Things cost 8 for a reason. And this costs 9 for a damn good reason. As long as you respect that reason and keep it real, you'll have a healthy format. Wizards has failed to do that ever since the Marvel ban. I mean, and then going backwards from there. And once in a while I'm stumped by like why nobody played Champion of Ronus. I don't understand that. But looking back at the history, free casting has been problematic over and over and over. So that's why I say take Commander, take every single bit of free casting and get rid of every single card. And wouldn't life be wonderful then? Because they wouldn't have had to ban Iona. So their explanation is Iona Shield of Emeria creates a negative experience for many players without the benefit of positive application. Who cares? I could describe 1,000 other cards that would meet that criteria. We had previously considered its high mana cost sufficient to keep it from getting played. Did you? Then I guess you don't know how Commander works and you shouldn't be on that committee, you dumbasses. But guys, blowing the lid off this one, shocking revelation here. Are you ready for this? But deeper investigation demonstrated many ways of getting it onto the battlefield without paying that cost. I'm f***ing shocked! How deep was that investigation and how stupid was the person doing it? If they think that that's deep, that's what they consider a deep investigation to find out that there's a bunch of free casting, broken, degenerate shit in Commander, then these f***ing morons doing this investigation are at serious risk of drowning the next time it rains out. The person who wrote this should never be allowed to use the word deep again because clearly they don't know what it means. But really, I mean, let's step back a little bit. They're just lying to us. They're just that incompetent, stupid, and lazy. They don't want to actually fix the format because, oh, boo-hoo, you banned 50 cards. What am I going to do now? Stop running degenerate shit? I guess maybe. I mean, it's just a suggestion since you out there complaining about all these bans and every time they get rid of some just broken turn 3 shit, you're the reason nobody respects the Commander format and nobody wants to play it with all the try-hard I mean, literally, those people in those decks are the reason that there's like an invisible 2 tiers of Commander. Actually friendly and fun the way it should be, where it promotes creativity and every game plays differently because it's 99 different cards, not counting lands. And then there's the I have to win because my self-esteem is pathetic. I'm going to spend more than my entire personal net worth on a $5,000 deck so I can go win on turn 2 and everybody will respect me. I mean, you almost have to have some kind of legitimate, like, doctor-certified mental problem for that to be you. Unless there's prize money online, then everybody. Everybody can kiss my ass if there's prize money online. That's how I always say, the Pro Tours and GPs are different, okay? You are playing to win. There ain't no friendly at those. Who cares? But for the other 99.999% of people, yes, I'm not exaggerating, that is the amount, stop playing stuff like that. And in my opinion, you need to be forced to stop playing stuff like that. Banning these tier cards? Great, wonderful. Where's the other 100? Because there's well over 100 cards that need to be removed from Commander. I mean, take a look at my philosophy and what I think would be a perfect game and what decks I and everyone considers to be highly broken, unfair, and unfun, and tell me that there's not 100 cards that need to be banned, or more. Because there is, and there's at least 10 plus in Modern too. I mean, this isn't a secret. That's why I've been pissed off about these ban announcements for the last 4 years. Because they pretend they're going really far, they pretend it's so drastic and they're fixing something, and they don't fix anything. They don't fix what is wrong at a basic level with any of this. And you know what? Screw bannings. What they should do is stop printing this stuff in the first place. I get it. 20 years ago, they were stupid. The game looked different back then, and they didn't have a crystal ball. So ban that, but then, I mean, look when Paradox Engine was printed. Look when Marvel was printed. Wizards! Stop printing stuff like this. Stop printing Scarab God. Stop printing Ugin. Stop printing Paradox Engine. Stop printing anything that free casts. Stop printing Carnage Tyrant. Stop printing Gulta. Oh, but Gulta doesn't have Hexproof because it's blown up with a kill spell. What did I just say? What did I just say earlier in this video? Shut the hell up. So after their, quote, deeper investigation demonstrated, quote, many ways of getting it onto the battlefield without paying its cost, they decided to ban it. Good. So they go on to say, Iona Shield of Meria is also an exemplar as the type of card, which is not grammatically correct, which creates an experience we wish to discourage, namely shutting players out of games. I wonder if Des has a comment about that he's referenced a few dozen times in the past. First of all, Lantern Control. That deck. Esper Control right now in Standard, that can go straight back to hell, but the actual reference, which if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know that me and this card got a little bit of a history. One of the biggest disgraces to the entire game, and that's multiplied tenfold by the fact that this has never been banned in any format ever and is currently legal in Modern. I know, get ready for a shock. And by the way, I can't actually verify that that's still true because the Gatherer is offline right now. Thanks, Wizards. Hey, why don't you use Scryfall, Des? Because it gave me massively incorrect information one time because they misclassified a set of cards. I look like a fucking idiot in the video, and they can right off from now on. Hey, everyone who runs and operates Scryfall, you personally. Oh, and your stupid, inaccurate piece of shit website. So anyway, as far as I remember from memory, this card has never been banned or restricted in any format. It's Boil. Costs 1 red, 3 generic. It's an instant speed card from 8th edition, and it says if your opponent's playing blue, them, they lose. What a wonderful and fair card that multiple Wizard staff members have referenced as everything wrong with card design and have cited as an example of what they will never do ever again, and yet it's not banned in Modern. But Des, nobody plays it in any deck ever. I don't give a shit. Unsurprisingly, I don't care. I don't care if anybody's playing any card right now. If it's broken, get rid of it. If it's unfair, get rid of it. Why do they let something become a problem instead of just reading the card and saying, well, that's you know, gee, we probably shouldn't let people do that in case any time in the future ever anybody plays this card. If this finds its way into a deck list ever again, we're going to have to ban it. So you know what? We should probably ban it. But no, Wizards has their head too far up their own ass to make decisions like that. Oh, and by the way, you know what's even better? There's 2 versions of Boil that effectively do the same thing. I'd look up what it is, but the Gatherer's offline. I believe it states word for word, islands don't untap. Period. Wizards said on multiple occasions, we are not going to try to purposely print a card ever again in Standard that says because of random chance who you sat down against and what color they're running, you have a card that does nothing or a card that shuts them down. Sound familiar? Let's jump back to Iona, who once again does not cost 9, she costs 0. And she says, hey, you know that color that you're running, and color's like really important in Commander? F you. You can't play all half or 1/3 of your day. Okay, it depends. You get it. It depends. Remember, a lot of people do play mono-colored Commander decks because the land base is way cheaper. I mean, I've had a mono blue one in the past. I've had a mono black one in the past. I've disassembled them. Well, I've rebuilt them as blue, white, and black, white because white's awesome. But yeah, you get out in Iona, nothing in my deck can get rid of it. Unless I have an artifact that'll destroy an angel, which nothing comes to mind. I would check, but the Gatherer's offline. I basically can't win. But then again, this is Commander. I probably play Platinum Angel, so you can kiss my ass. So that's it. They don't even say why that's bad, what percentages, numbers, stats, because they don't have access to any of that. So it's all just hearsay and rumors and friend of a friend. And I've heard a very reliable rumor that allegedly the people who make these decisions will not ban a card if it's one of the cards in a deck that they commonly run. Because why would they? They don't own the community anything, and they're clearly, in my opinion, as far as I can tell, responsible for insider trading and making tons of money on their own decisions. So they have no morals. They don't give a shit about the health of the game or the community. They're basically in it for themselves when it comes to banning and unbanning. There's even rumors that some of these butthurt little whiny bitches run like $10,000 decks, and then if they go to a tournament and lose to one deck with one archetype, that will be number 1 on their ban list because I lost to it once. Wah. I mean, words cannot describe how, allegedly, because I don't know them personally, and this is all secondhand information, how big of assholes these people are that make these decisions on this Commander committee. Now, it could all be wrong, it could all be rumors that people are making up, but I don't think so. Based on their past decisions and them just being unable to justify their actions or decisions or back anything up or unwillingness to even debate it with people, how they treat people on the forums, other statements they've made, everything comes together to just say that these people should not be in charge of this. So I would strongly recommend that all of you just institute your own private ban list where it's just like, not even cards, it's just this deck is too powerful. We don't want to play against you. Go find another play group. Bye. And if you're a store owner and you do like a casual or even like prize supported Commander thing for either F&M or like on a different day, it's twice as important that you institute a power limit. If you're putting prizes online, I don't know how you do it. It's supposed to be casual and fun. I would almost rather you just, instead of who wins, just like give them maybe 1 pack and then have like 6 packs giveaway. So it's like, it's just participation trophies. Yeah, I get it. Ha ha ha, participation trophies. But if the goal is to have fun and have interesting decks and let people play whatever and whatever, kick out too powerful of decks and then just don't have any reward for winning. Because winning isn't the point, fun is the point. This is Commander. So whatever these dickheads in this ridiculous cabal of crooked assholes, whatever they decide, you don't have to abide with it. They're not the boss of you. They don't make the rules for you and your play group. Unless you're at a sanctioned tournament, they literally cannot tell you what to and not to play. Never forget that. So, getting back to the third announcement, Painter's Servant is a card that's been discussed for a long time, and it's time to take off the shackles. We feel as though there are now more weird and fun uses for the card than there are dangerous ones. They know that every 3 months more cards get added, right? Actually, it's more often it's Commander, because that's side products too. Oh, speaking of that, hey, remember when they made formally legal in Commander unstable cards? Oh, hey, speaking of side products, take a little detour for a second. Remember Unstable and how they made it legal in Commander for a couple months? I'm sure pressure from Wizards didn't have anything to do with that, or some kind of back and forth favor, or them still being allowed to maintain the ban list despite mismanaging it. Because, oh, look at us, we just sold some packs. And the response from the entire community was, yeah, screw you. Like, Commander, we don't take it seriously, but we don't take it that lack of seriously. That was the most crooked, money-grubbing bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Well, actually, no, it's probably beaten by when Star City Games raised the price of dual lands right before Legacy was announced as like a returning Grand Prix format. What a coincidence! I'm sure you didn't have insider information and your explanation was perfectly reasonable and everybody agreed with you. Guys, the amount of bullshit that goes on in the MTG market just because so much money is involved, you don't even know the half of it. Trust me. I could make a 1-hour documentary on how crooked and shady and under the table crap these stupid distributors in America are. It's unreal. Hey, wait, did you guys hear that big news headline on all the different websites at Kotaku about ACD Distribution suing Hasbro because Hasbro tried to screw them over and it got really ugly in court? No, you didn't. Trust me, tip of the iceberg. Look into Southern Hobby and some of the complaints about them. Oh my gosh, it makes these dumb that are running the Commander ban list look like saints. So anyway, getting back to Painter's Servant, which totally didn't just jump up in price right before this announcement on a lot of different platforms. So anyway, Painter's Servant, they feel that there are now more weird and fun and wacky, zany, crazy uses for the card. There's more of those than there are dangerous ones, as they put it. Mathematically, provably, logically false. What that interacts with colors has left Commander via banning, and how many cards have entered since the last ban list? Oh, they haven't touched anything to do with color, except for M20. So no, none of the degenerate, broken, unfair crap that Painter's Servant did before has left the game. I don't know what they think they're referring to. They're basically just bullshitting us. But they want Commander to be, quote, weird and fun, guys. Woo! Hey, Sheldon, you flying purple hippo. Come here, you fucking asshole. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, because it's not. Do not tell me that all of the magical degenerate color-based shit that people use Painter's Servant for in the past has vaporized from Commander into a void. It's in a black hole, never to be seen again. That's not true. F*** you. So Sheldon, or whoever the hell wrote this, he's the one who posted it. I heard that the US government wants to research your pants because they're so on fire from lying at this point, that's an American idiom by the way, that they think your pants might actually be able to jumpstart a fusion reactor. So they go on to lie, the card will provide deck builders with some additional paths to explore in expressing their creativity. All of a sudden it's about weird, wacky, fun, crazy combos and creativity when everything else in this entire article is about fairness, math, like win rates, like game fun, bad matchups, degenerate free casting, technical individual card combos, and woo, fun and creativity. I mean, I know they had to justify this bullshit so that they could buy up 100 copies and then sell them a week later, allegedly. But this is what they chose to go with. This children's book fairy tale bullshit. Wow, okay, that's pretty bold. Enjoy counting your money, you douchebags. Oh, the end of this article is, many thanks to the Commander Advisory Group for the input and insights into putting together this update. In other words, hey, all my friends, have fun counting your money too. I hope you bought up 100 copies of this. Their presence continues to add great value to the format. Hey, I've got an idea. Hey, owners of TCG Player, Card Kingdom, Channel Fireball, Troll and Toad, all y'all. I literally just listed people who hate me. Card Shark, there we go. All y'all. You know damn well what name and address 100 plus copies of Painter's Servant were shipped to. If it is not a violation of your stated privacy policy and it's not illegal in your country, I would love it if you would go on social media and say, here's a list of the people who bought up Painter's Servant on July 1st through the 7th. Everybody, everyone in the community would love to know who these people are. Because, shockingly, I have the weirdest feeling that they might be the people on this damn Commander Advisory Group. Call me crazy. Conspiracy, tinfoil hat, das. I mean, literally just first name, last initial. Let's not witch hunt and dox these people, but like somebody who knows them personally and has played with them at GPs would be like, yeah, that's them. 100 copies going to that state with that first name, yeah, that's them. So get this, at the end of this ridiculous bullshit thing, they have the philosophy of Commander. See if you think this little read through that I'm going to do sounds anything like anything they've done in the last 5 years. At all. It sounds nice in theory, but it's actually not what they're doing and it's just complete BS. So let's read it purely for entertainment value. For fair use reasons, I am actually evaluating and reviewing it. Commander is for fun. That is in bold. It's a socially interactive multiplayer Magic the Gathering format full of wild interactions and epic plays, specifically designed as an alternative to tournament Magic, as is fitting for a format in which you choose an avatar to lead your forces into battle. Commander focuses on a resonant experience. Each game, oh, by the way, resonant, I think if I remember their definition correctly at Wizards, it means it's different every time. I think that's what Mark Rosewater said it meant, because it doesn't mean the dictionary definition. Anyway, each game is a journey the players share, relying on a social contract in which each player is considerate of the experiences of everyone involved. Keep that in mind, you net decking dicks. I added that part. This promotes player interaction, inter-game variance, a variety of playstyles, and a positive communal atmosphere. Yeah, remember, Magic was supposed to be fun, if you forgot that. At the end of an ideal Commander game, someone will have won, but all participants will have had the opportunity to express themselves through the deck building and gameplay. Unless some dick won on turn 2. I added that as well. The rules of Commander are designed to maximize these experiences within a game of Magic. The addition of a Commander, larger life total, and deck building restrictions emphasize the format's flavor. I don't really know where they're going with that, but okay. They increase deck variance and add more opportunities for participation and expression. Exactly. The goal of the ban list is similar. Really? It does not seek to regulate competitive play or power level, which is literally all it does. They only ever target tier 1 decks. They basically admitted it if you scroll up. Which are decisions best left to individual play groups. Wait, the goal of the ban list is similar. It does not seek to regulate competitive play or power level, which are decisions best left to individual play groups. No, you're thinking of the exact opposite. A Commander event for prizes and money at a Grand Prix where everybody's playing tier 1 degenerate crap is not determined by the play group. That's highly competitive play at a high power level, as they put it. That's not up to the players in it. That's up to you. And that's been every ban decision lately where you're like, this is just too good. It's too good of a combo. People are running this in a tier 1 deck and they're winning way too quickly. We're going to ban it. That's that. Casual, friendly, local play is where it's up to the individual play groups. So for them to say that the ban list doesn't seek to regulate competitive play, all they regulate is competitive play. And like they said, they don't give a shit what you do with your friends in your Commander group. It's up to you what you want to allow or not. Just tell the person you don't want to play with them. There, you just banned every card in their deck, basically. You're in charge of the ban list, except at the competitive level. Then it's up to these dicks. So anyway, that's blatantly false, but anyway, the ban list seeks to demonstrate which cards threaten the positive player experience at the core of the format or prevent players from reasonable self-expression. Oh, they must be referring to all those cards that say if you're wearing this type of outfit, then you lose the game. If your opponent currently has this particular type of hairstyle, or if they're wearing this type of makeup, they lose. Self-expression my ass, okay? I'll express myself by crushing your stupid freaking net deck and ruining your combo, okay? That's how I express myself. Also, I kind of want to make a deck with all puppies, but why would Iona stop me from doing that? Why would any of this stop me from doing that other than, oh, it's too powerful in a tier 1 setting, in a highly competitive deck, which is what they said they're not banning for, but they are. The primary focus on the list is on cards which are problematic because of their extreme consistency, ubiquity, and or ability to restrict others' opportunities. Ubiquity, really? So you're gonna ban Sol Ring is what you're saying. That's not even a factor. There are tons of cards that everybody plays in Commander. What the hell's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with like 90% of them. Now, consistency, now we're talking. That's why you guys know it's always been my position that 100% of free casting and 100% of tutoring, searching your deck for anything that isn't a land, should be banned by rule in Commander. Just like a permanent effect that says players cannot search their decks for cards except lands. Good luck getting your combo to go off in 99 card singleton if you can't go hand pick the card you need. Problem solved. Permanently. I have never, in my 6+ years of playing, had anybody disagree with me that all tutoring should be banned in Commander except for lands. Never has anybody ever disagreed. Because if they think about it for 3 seconds, they're like, yeah, that actually would make Commander in the spirit of Commander. It's supposed to be fun, unique, different, play differently every time, unless you're just going for boring-ass tribal, whatever, that's you do you. Not, oh, look, I won on turn 3. Oh, look, I won on turn 3. Oh, look, same combo, I won on turn 3. Oh, you guys just got done shuffling? Well, I already won. Screw you. I can't name one Commander deck that does it without tutoring. So get rid of tutoring. There you go, done. So no single rule can establish criteria for a ban. There are many mitigating and exacerbating factors, like, for example, how many of the people who are in the stupid group own and whether or not they personally play them or play against them. I added that. Some cards will represent an extreme on a single axis. Others are a confluence of multiple smaller issues. The following list isn't exhaustive, nor is it a checklist. So in other words, we're stating a bunch of crap, but even we don't stick to it. We'll admit right now, yeah, there's plenty of cards that fit every single one of these, but it's not a checklist and we're just making this up as we go. But it represents ways in which the cards challenge the positive experiences players look for in Commander games. Oh, you mean like all tutoring? It includes cards which easily or excessively, 1. Cause severe resource imbalances, 2. Allow players to win out of nowhere. Once you played against it once, it ain't out of nowhere. 3. Prevent players from contributing to the game in a meaningful way. 4. Cause other players to feel that they must play certain cards even though they are also problematic. I wouldn't have even added that ending. Just like, oh, I have to run artifact removal because this, and this. Whatever number I'm on, are very difficult for other players to interact with, especially if doing so requires dedicated, narrow responses when deck building. So, Carnage Tyrant. I mean, that's not actually in Commander, but in Standard would be a good example. So there's very narrow ways to get rid of it. Scarab God, oh my God, there's an example. That thing is impossible to get rid of, except for very, very narrow things that everybody feels obligated to play. Best example I've ever come up with. That card will burn in hell. Numbered, 6 or something. Interact poorly with the multiplayer nature of the format or the specific rules of Commander. Hey, didn't they print a mechanic that was specifically for multiplayer? Oh, I thought they did that. So basically, I'd say extort. You guys are going to disagree with that. But the more players there are, the more you benefit from it. And cards like that are a little messed up. But I mean, plenty of cards say each player. They're aware of Commander. They could phrase it either way for Standard because it's never multiplayer, so who cares? Or each opponent, I should say. Each player is a different thing. Target opponent and each opponent are literally the same thing in Standard. They know damn well what they're doing. But in my opinion, they should probably just say target player on every card ever. Because like I said, they're doing it just to sell the card in Commander, whether it's fair or not. You know this. The the last one, leads to repetitive gameplay. Really? Really? That's what you're targeting. Look at the top 10 Commander decks and tell me that you guys limit repetitive gameplay. Really? Yeah, that's totally true, except that no, you don't. And I'm not saying they've done nothing to stop combos that win with the same stupid combo every single time, but I'm saying it's still in the game. So cards which are banned likely meet a few of these criteria in a significant way. Not all cards which meet some of the criteria need to be banned. Yes, they do. We prefer to be conservative with what goes on or comes off the ban list. That's why Commander's in such a shit state. Commander players often become emotionally attached to their decks through play and personalization. If you're emotionally attached to your $10,000 win on turn 2 infinite combo bullshit, f*** you. Go see a therapist, you sick psychopathic. You clearly have mental problems. So they only want to disrupt that bond when necessary. Commander is designed to be a malleable format. We encourage groups to use the rules and the ban list as a baseline to optimize their own experience. This is not license for an individual to force their visions onto a playgroup, but encouragement for players to discuss their goals and how the rules might be adjusted to suit those goals. Everybody make up your own decisions in community and blah, 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 Bernie 2020. Yeah, piss off. You don't have to tell me how to not be a dick in my playgroup, okay? What you should do is take all those dumb apes who go to a friendly tournament in LGS where like 30 people show up with Commander decks and then they just sweep the whole thing with their overpowered crap that should have been banned 10 years ago and ban it. Because f*** them. I'm not worried about my playgroup. Sounds like you're not worried about my playgroup. So how about you take care of the actual problem? Oh, but they're so attached to their decks emotionally. No, financially is how they're attached to those decks. That's the complaints you get when you ban a deck. Oh, but I just built this deck a couple months ago because I want to win way too much because my friends will think I'm so cool and I'm on food stamps and I can't afford it. This ban is so unfair. Don't listen to those people. They're degenerates. And then they end it with all in bold. I'm surprised it's not in caps. The format can be broken. Oh, at least you're admitting it. We believe games are more fun if you don't. And I'm like 50-50 on that being an incorrect usage of a semicolon. Hey, if you're going to admit the format can be broken currently and that people abuse it and that highly competitive people ruin it for everybody and that the ban list is irrelevant to people who don't abuse overpowered cards, how about you ban the other 100 overpowered cards? I'm waiting for a counterpoint. any reason to the contrary at all. Oh, you don't have one? Okay, cool. F you. End of video. So if you like my philosophy on magic in this style of video, it is very old school Desolator, and it's probably demonetized at this point. They now said instead of, oh, censor it, haha, just like television, by the way, we implemented an AI system that could detect censor bleeps, and we're going to demonetize it anyway, so f you. Thanks, YouTube. So hey, the link to support me on Patreon is in the description, as well as my awesome Teespring store with the dankest magic shirts ever made. Any help would be appreciated because my medical bills are insane. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next video.